This hospital has been closed to new admissions now for more than a week, and it's still no sign of it reopening. In that time, all the staff have been tested, and it's thought more than 100 of them have tested positive for coronavirus. Many of them are now self-isolating with their family members to stop the spread in the community, and that is the big issue at the moment. In North Somerset, there's been a dramatic rise in new cases, and the big question is just why has that happened here in this relatively small hospital? Do you think with the right measures in place, this outbreak could have been prevented?
Absolutely. I do think that it could have been prevented. If there was a better isolation facility for those staff, the outbreak would have been prevented.
If you go to the hospital, you will never come back.
For the children, lockdown was like being in prison.
If you're in a low-paid job, you don't have the option of working from home.
They are the voices of a community which often feels forgotten. But today, research conducted by local Somali organisations has revealed how the pandemic has disproportionately affected those living in some of the most deprived parts of the city. This is in many ways a perfect storm. You've got a combination of unsuitable housing for people working long-houred, low-paid jobs which are public-facing, and also the fact that you've got black, Asian and minority ethnic people now getting seriously ill due to this virus. And what this report has done is really exposed many inequalities that already exist. It happened in the early hours of this morning while most of us were still asleep. And away from the emotion of this weekend's protests, the muddied and damaged remains of Edward Colston's statue was hauled to dry land. The slave trader wrapped in tarpaulin, like a body being taken to its final resting place. Because it is yet another Bristol landmark which has decided to distance itself from that Edward Colston name. And I was here really early in the morning as a team came in to climb up there and remove the letters which have adorned this building for decades now. And it's not the only building which has gone through this process. Just over here we have Colston Tower, and a few days ago at the top there the letters were also taken down. But there's a key difference between these two buildings, and that's Colston Hall here has been found. If this truly was history in the making, then it is simply another chapter in Bristol's complicated past with slavery and race, which is still so relevant today. Today, the judge said that it was a miracle that no one was killed in the incident, and that was partly thanks to the heroics of the officers, but also members of the public who tried to stop him. This is a man in the grip of an acute delusional psychosis. Armed with a large kitchen knife, Bridgman waits at the bus stop, believing he's about to attack aliens who've killed his family. CCTV captures what's been described as 20 minutes of panic and terror on the streets of Knowle in February.
I say, smile Tyrone, let me take you a nice photo. Yes, so he was smiling and happy.
Growing up, Tyrone was a happy, energetic little boy. He loved Star Wars and the animals at Bristol Zoo. But at just 17, he suffered a fatal stab wound to his chest at his flat in Bedminster. His mother says she still remembers the moment she was told what happened.
I did have to go by the hospital, and I was crying to the doctor and say, please try your best to save my son's life.
But doctors couldn't save him. Joanne has 4 children to look after, but her husband's work as a building subcontractor has dried up. They have no income.
The kids wouldn't have ate much this week if we hadn't, with no income coming in, so it has been a lifesaver.
It's just coming up to 2 in the morning, but this is actually the busiest time for the street pastors as they try to get everyone home safely. But they say there are 2 main factors which stop them doing that, and one is alcohol and the other is drugs. Moments later, we get a call over the radio that a man is unconscious in a doorway. An ambulance is on its way, but the street pastors arrive first. The most important question is to establish if the man has taken any drugs. and the event will take place here at the end of the month. But as you said, I've also spoken to Michael Eavis about everything Glastonbury Festival, about the decision to postpone this year, but also about the challenges he faces to get the festival going next year. And I started by asking him how difficult it is in this current climate.
We're moving heaven and earth to make sure that we do, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's going to happen. That's just wishful thinking, really.
In this village, everyone knows David. He's been running the post office here for more than a decade. But now he's driving door to door to drop off supplies for those who are worried about opening theirs.
Morning, lovely. You all right?
People like Joan, who at 76 is self-isolating with a husband who has a number of health issues.
They're there for you. And there's the village as well, so got notes through the door asking if we need any shopping, and neighbours. So we've done well, really.
And people like David make it all possible, don't they?
It's brilliant. If you've got a problem, you ring him and you sort something. When you need the post office part, he'll sort something for you.